You want to audition for a musical, but then comes the dreaded question, what do I sing? This is a stressor time and time again from performers just doing their very first audition for their very first musical, all the way up to professional musical theater performers. Picking the right song for the right audition is a skill in itself. Hi, I'm Emery, a musical theater choreographer, director, teacher, lover, all the things. And I'm here with 6 tips to help you pick a song for your next musical audition. So, to give a little background, in case you have never auditioned for a musical before, I'm going to assume that you're coming into this brand new, first time ever auditioning for something. Professional performers have something that they call a book. This book is full of sheet music that they can sing at the drop of a hat, that an accompanist can play for them, and that they can sing beautifully, nail every moment, I mean, in theory. And these are the pieces that they audition with. They pick a variety of pieces to go in the book and a variety of cuts, which I'll talk on in a second. But that might not be the case at your local theater community level or an amateur theater company. They might not have a piano accompanist ready for you. They might have different audition criteria. So before you even think about tips to audition, read what the audition criteria is. Do they ask for something upbeat? Do they ask for a ballad? Do they say 30 to 60 seconds of a song? Do they say a 16-bar cut, a 32-bar cut? And so what those means is that's how many bars of sheet music that you would sing out of your book, out of a song in your book. That's not always used at every level of theater, but just in case you hear that terminology, I can do a whole other video about a book and what you should put in it and what the different cuts mean and all of that. But for today, we're going to assume that the audition criteria tells you what you need to sing. So, tip number 1, you want to pick something in your vocal range, something you feel comfortable singing. An audition is not necessarily the time to really stretch to the peaks of your highs and your lows. You want something that sits in your voice very well and comfortably, something that you are not straining to sing. So if you're an alto, this is not the time to wing it on a soprano song just to see how it sounds. You want to find something that sits comfortably where you can vocally hit every note in the song comfortably and confidently. Tip number 2, it's best if you pick a part of a song or the song itself that has the ability to have character in it, to have a story arc, no matter how short the cut is suggested. We're doing musical theater, which means we are acting, singing, and dancing. We need to prove that we can at least do 2 of these in our audition cuts, which means when we are singing, we are showing that we can also act. So I want you to find a song that has a bit of a story to it, a bit of a character beat, something that can show that you have acting chops as well as vocal prowess. Point number 3, and this one is the more challenging one that maybe needs a little bit of research. One of my favorite tips to give people is to find an audition piece that is stylistically close to the musical you're doing, but not from the musical you're doing. And I'll mention why I don't like doing songs from the musical you're auditioning for in a later point. But right now, you need to figure out what era the musical that you're auditioning for is from. What kind of music? Is it more Broadway style? Is it a pop rock? Is it jazzy? What is the music stylistically doing in the musical? And then you want to find a musical that is similar, that has a similar style to it, and you pick a song from that musical that shows off your vocal ability. So for example, if you were auditioning for Mean Girls the Musical, which is a pop rock contemporary musical, picking something from, say, Heathers the Musical or Legally Blonde the Musical would be a good choice because these are also contemporary pop rock musicals. I wouldn't necessarily audition for Mean Girls with a piece from Phantom of the Opera. Tip number 4. There's lists and lists and lists on the internet of do not sing this song at your audition songs. These are usually your really popular songs or songs that are still currently on Broadway. If you're auditioning for community theater, I wouldn't worry about this rule too much. If you're going in for professional jobs, that is a different story. But the do not sing list is more of a suggestion when we're looking at smaller tier performances. The reason that we say don't do them is so that the director is not getting fatigued of hearing the same song over and over and over. Even just as a high school musical theater director, I heard Part of Your World 5 times one year out of a class of 52 students, which is a lot at times. And that's now one of the songs that when somebody sings at an audition, I just twitch a little bit. It's just very overused for me. Now, the people choosing that song wouldn't know that, and I try not to differentiate them in any way or like punish them for choosing The Little Mermaid, but it was done a lot. So maybe before you sing Defying Gravity, make sure that A, it's the right choice for the musical that you're looking at, and B, there's not something a little bit less well known that you could similarly rock out to. Tip 5. This one's controversial and not every director will agree with me. There's sometimes an unspoken rule of not singing a song from the show that's being produced. So if I'm auditioning for Legally Blonde, maybe I don't sing So Much Better. The reason is, and it's a risk that could pay off for you or not. If you come in and you sing a different rendition or not quite as powerfully as the director has in their head, they've already got a vision of how this song is going to go, of how this song is going to sound. And if you're not matching that vision, then you've automatically put yourself at a disadvantage compared to everybody else that's not using a song from the musical. On the other hand, if you risk it, nail it, and you've let them know that you're perfect for this part, risk reward. You have to be willing to have both those things happen. You're just taking a risk that the director is A, not overtired of hearing it because other people might have done the same thing, or B, doesn't already have an idea of exactly what they want to hear for that piece in their head already. So that one's up to you. I'll let you take that how you will. And point number 6, do you love it? Does it make you feel like a superstar? Do you get chills when you sing this song? Does it do something to your heart and your energy? Then yes, it's the song for you, even if it breaks all 5 of the first rules I mentioned. These are guidelines, and there's always exceptions to the rule. If you've got the perfect song and you feel like a superstar when you sing it, and it is from the musical and it is super popular and all of those things, do it. Do it anyways. That's the beauty of art. You get to make the choice. You get to make the statement. So pick something that makes you feel awesome. It makes you feel like you're gonna nail this audition. I want to know in the comments what your favorite audition song is. What song is your go-to that makes you feel like a rock star in any scenario? So share that below. If you like this kind of content, I make tip videos every week for different aspects of theater. Please subscribe and like the video, and I will see you next week for more theater goodness.